Hey everybody, we're assuming that Skeeter's not going to be here because he's in Costa Rica at CostaCon. We're waiting for Jim Hazeltine to join us, but we figured that since we were running a little bit late, that while we're all still drinking our coffee and eating our dinner and all of that stuff, we'd go ahead and go live and see who all's in the chat room and say hello to everybody. But we're not going to actually start gaming just quite yet at the minute. We're going to give Hazeltine a little bit longer to show up. We were talking about Skeeter's sunburn from the pictures in Costa Rica.
Bacon skin.
Bacon skin. Hey, Alberta. Okay, so we know that Alberta is one of the people in the chat room. So this Paladin on call.
We got a room named after her.
7 people watching.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably. Anybody have anything exciting to talk about? I guess there's Kickstarters that have been kicking off, Kickstarters that are wrapping up. So if you haven't backed them already, go back them.
Yeah.
Go kick those Kickstarters.
Get all the stuff. I know. Since again we're waiting for Jim, and we'll give him another 5 minutes. So we'll run until 6:10, and then if he's still not here, we'll go ahead and start without him. But Rocky Gardner has got a Kickstarter that they just released, which is Creeping Something or Other. Here's Jim.
Creeping Cold.
Creeping Cold. So that one, that's one to take a look at. Rocky, I assume, I haven't talked to him a whole lot about it, but I assume that was Rocky, and that Ian McGarty would have been involved in that, either the writing or the editing or the play testing phase. So that's going to be a good one. And I'm wondering, he must have written that during Snowmageddon when they were trapped in their house virtually. You can almost
think that was definitely. So I've read an early version.
Oh yeah,
and it's not bad. Very much environment versus the players.
And thank you, Fred. We say that we do the best live stream that you've seen. One of the fun things about it is that it's not edited or anything, so that not only makes it a lot of fun to watch, but also really, really freaking easy to produce.
It's a feature, not a bug.
That's right. Low production values are deliberate in this case.
I would say it's due entirely to the on-screen talent.
It is, especially those who are wearing orange T-shirts.
Well, I'm wearing an orange T-shirt.
You are? Oh my gosh!
What a coincidence!
Oh dear.
All right, let's go ahead. I'm assuming that that Skeeter is not going to be dialing up from Costa Rica with whatever level of Wi-Fi it is that they've got in their hotel over there, and
5K.
So let's go ahead.
He's playing Call of Cthulhu anyway and doesn't want to hang out with us.
Probably so, yeah. It's well, it's a break from routine.
Is this a good time to kill him and take his stuff?
It is. I don't know how many.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Okay, so you guys were you slept overnight back in the panic room on the 2nd level, where you've got a room that has only one entrance to it that you've fortified and guarded and probably built in a wet bar and a cauldron and stuff in there.
Definitely a kitchen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So everyone gets you've got 1 night's worth of memorized spells, 1 hit point of healing, and then you can cast those spells however you want to, and we can go on from there. Alberta asks if Skeeter recovered from the zip line. I didn't know that anything went badly enough with the zip line that he'd have to recover from it. So if that was necessary, I can't wait to hear the story.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard from him since the zip line, so maybe he never recovered.
It's kind of what I was thinking. It's like I don't recall him posting since then. You know, who knows?
Jennifer posted a picture of the landing site for the zip line, and it didn't have a splash of red on it, so that was good.
Might have been a before picture.
Could have been. Could have been. Hey James. Hey everyone. Okay, so so we've got two. We're cleric heavy.
Woohoo,
For
front
once.
line.
This one, yeah. So you guys want to? Let's figure out if there was any damage, or and where we are, and then you guys can make your next essay toward the toward level 3B.
My character is good with hit points, so I don't need to heal myself right now.
I'm half the man I used to be.
Oh,
Wait,
a
I will have to
quarterling
pick
again.
one.
We're gonna
Like
really.
one cure light. Slap me with one of those.
All right, Tovak's down by 1 cure.
Yeah,
All right.
one
I'll
should be
slap you with one of those. Ooh, 7 points.
enough. Ooh, basically full. Actually, I heal 1 hit point, so I'm totally full.
And 6 hit points for Thibodeau.
Ooh.
All right, so Tovak, how many hit points have you got?
37.
37.
Okay. Artemisia?
I have 23.
Show offs.
What about Lethe?
Lethe has 24.
Oh,
And Thibodeau?
18.
All right.
And I am not at max.
Do you
that's
want
only
another?
20. Well,
do you
that's
want
only
another?
20. That's only 2, so.
Oh.
Okay. So you guys head out of the panic room and back to the stairs. And the staircase is one that comes down from the first level, and it goes exits here on the second level, then goes down to the third and the fourth level as well, all on the one staircase. You get to the stairs. These are the ones that were closed off at one point by the gelatinous hypercube. And so it's a curved top on the stairs leading down, but something about it, it seems like the bricks and the stones they're not even. It almost has a slightly pixelated kind of look because of the way that the stones are coming in and out. And that is a little bit different from what it was yesterday.
Holy shit.
So, Tovak, you look at it, and as far as you can tell, everything is stable and normal stonework. You cannot even see that it ought to have any moving parts, which makes it strange that the stones and the mortar would seem to be moving around a little bit.
Yep, those are rocks. Strange rocks, but somehow stable rocks.
We moved into an 8-bit world.
It's a little bit like that, yeah.
I cast a magic missile into the darkness. I actually do cast find traps.
Okay, there is no trap.
So when you say pixelated, you're talking about a visual effect, like the air is sort of shimmering.
No, not the air.
The rock is sort of shimmering.
The stones look a little bit Minecrafty. So.
Which is not the same as it was before.
That's right.
Artemisia,
Mm,
you got that torch going?
I imagine I either can or I also have a lantern, whichever
Either
you
or.
guys would rather.
Yeah, either or.
I'll do lantern.
What are you guys gonna just touch it?
No, I was going to, I don't know, throw a spike through the arch or something.
Okay, so you throw it through, clink, 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 down the stairs. Nothing happens.
We walk through the open and we turn into 8-bit people.
That's right, and everything scrolls sideways, and you have to jump up and down while it moves. Yeah.
Jump button, jump button, jump button.
We get loot by hitting it with our head.
Let's go find traps.
The traps is not a trap. The find trap spell is up, and it's not showing anything.
It's not a trap.
Oh, well, maybe we should send a orchestra through it. See what happens.
That's,
I'm not sure he's going to agree.
Hey, let's take a vote on it. How
I
about
heard
that?
I heard something loud and shrill coming from like the direction of Costa Rica.
he must have really hurt himself on that zip line. That's what that is.
Yeah, stop.
All right. Well, take my quarterstaff and touch the pixelated rock.
Okay.
Tap, tap, tap.
Clink. Yep, it's rock.
It's rock.
Which again, Tovak. I'd
I'm
say.
familiar with rocks, and that is definitely a rock.
Based on what little we've seen of how the hypercube reacted to things around it, does this look like something that might have been a byproduct of the hypercube having been there?
It's a distortion in the time-space continuum. We're in a Star Trek episode.
Okay, the thing about the hypercube is it existed in several different planes at one time, and so this is definitely not a result of the hypercube, because the hypercube has actually been dead for a while. You fought the last little pieces of it, the regular gelatinous cubes that were down in the level below that you're headed toward last session. So
The gold medal Jamaican gelatinous team.
that's right. That we're still upset about the fact that they seem to move faster than you had expected.
I'll be upset about that 30 years from now.
Oh yeah, no. It's
I'll still be making this joke 30 years from now.
yeah. Every gelatinous cube in the future is going to be like, well, at least it's not the super fast moving.
It's not the Usain Bolt of
You were
gelatinous cubes.
totally cheating gelatinous cube.
I never said those words.
So no, I mean it can't. It's not an after effect, because the gelatinous cube had died before this happened, but it certainly could in some way be related to planes of existence. Certainly one way of explaining why the appearance of something would change without it either being a trap or magical or stone, still being normal stone but shifting its shape. That could be an explanation, but it's not it's not something that resulted from the existence of that hypercube.
And this is the point where I remember that wasn't this dungeon formed by a big divine meteor being thrown at the city, and it basically like not only fractured the city but like reality?
Yes.
Okay. So an interspatial stairway is kind of like not necessarily all that kind
Basically
of
a Tuesday.
As long as we don't
right?
get
Like
back
it's
up.
kind of like just the world we live in down here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, who
Not
wants
that
to
you
go
have to
first?
like it. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm just saying.
Did it also affect the stairs going up?
The stairs going up, yes, those are also slightly pebbled and pixelated in appearance. The same way.
Okay, can we do the dungeon that we'll like? Is that an option?
Okay, and down at the bottom, there's a large tub of ice cream.
Oh, there's a guarantee we'll never get there. Now I know there's something.
We're
wrong.
just gonna die on those stairs somehow.
So you're looking down with the lantern, and it's now shining on the ice cream down there.
Wait.
Oh, well, it's been a while since we've had any good food, but
It's gonna be gelatinous ice cream.
I feel
What
like
flavor is it?
this is critical information.
Okay, it looks it's the same color orange as Jim's shirt.
Oh damn! Just like that room.
Ooh,
Orange
sherbet.
sherbet.
Orange sherbet, yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well,
Let's move on down.
All right. Yeah.
Okay,
Free
that-
ice
that
cream.
got everyone going. Free ice cream.
Free
Okay.
right.
ice cream.
Well, I
It
think
doesn't
it's one
take
of those
much.
things that's like, in the movie Aliens, they're like, here's this totally weird thing. Okay, proceed inside. All right.
Okay, so Thibodeau walks down the stairs, and so Thibodeau, you've got the light shining on you from up at the top because I don't think Artemisia is going down the stairs yet. But you go into
Shadow.
the 30 by 40 room. It's 30 feet east-west, 40 feet north-south. Stairs enter into the middle of the north wall. There are 2 doors leading out. One leads to the south. One of them leads to the east. And let me see if I can switch over my. Which am I on? Okay, this is the 270. So then we're going to go to that one. And all right, so
It's close, but that ain't it.
That's not.
There
yeah,
we go.
that's
Put a
not
door.
the-
Give me a door.
the door there.
Is that the room we came into?
Yeah. when we went
Oh,
down.
okay. All right. Now it is. Yeah.
Okay, so Thibodeau, you walk down there, and there is a large, sort of oval-shaped dish in the middle of the floor. Very large. Looks like it probably holds about 5 gallons of the orange sherbet.
I'm not opening my mouth again the rest of this adventure.
If you did,
I'm just gonna sit here in my orange shirt and pout.
Well, I don't know if pout, but definitely I don't put my party members in danger by saying one more stupid thing.
Orange sherbet, man. What's bad? What could be bad?
I'm just
mean,
worried about
what's
that
the word?
trap of the plug.
No,
All right.
you're looking down, and you know from the spell that the orange sherbet is not a trap.
Y'all come down here. I'm getting claustrophobic.
All right, I'm going to go join him.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody heads on down the stairs, and so you've got the 2 doors in the room and the large dish of orange sherbet.
Since the orange sherbet is more or less my fault, I will take a spoon and take a bite of the orange sherbet.
Okay. So you spoon some of the and it's delicious. It's very, very good.
It's awful. This is poisonous. I need to face tank this trap myself. Stand back. This is a job for a cleric of Metalis and possibly Muriel as well.
Y'all start having visions again now, damn it.
I'm having
just
visions of eating all of this ice cream by myself.
Just be careful. You know, you don't have to make this noble sacrifice all on your own.
Oh, I don't know. She looks like she's gonna, take one for the team and try and eat the entire 5 gallons worth of orange sherbet.
I'm heading in.
Okay. So you're eating the sherbet.
And
The
this
rest of us
is,
just
this is now a great
stare.
dungeon. I like this dungeon.
Okay. There you go.
Say, can we sneak a taste?
Okay. So yeah, it's orange sherbet. It's delicious.
He lied to us. That's horrible food.
I guess Tibby's used to roadkill so much that orange sherbet. It's like,
Oh my goodness. Whoever cooked that and get fired at our place.
Okay. Does anybody not eat any of the orange sherbet?
I'm not going to have any.
Oh,
I'll roll a die.
Okay.
It's just, it's not very cold down here. I don't know how it's maintaining its consistency. I'm a little bit weirded out. And I'm pretty sure the bowl's a mimic.
it's a strange day in hell when Lethy dives in and Tovak's weirded out.
You know, I like to fight for my food. When it's just sitting right there in front of me,
I
it
didn't
just,
kill the sherbet, so
like, I didn't kill it. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe I'll stab it a couple times with my sword just to make sure.
Okay.
hey,
So
my face is in there.
your spoon's clanking against Tovak's sword. Liz, are you tasting the sherbet?
I start
Oh.
eating faster.
Well, I don't want to get in between another cleric and their sherbet, so
If she gets
I
close,
will
I'm gonna
not.
growl at her.
Professional courtesy.
that's right.
Okay. So after a while,
Lethy, this is your weird interdimensional sherbet.
after a while, Lethy and Thibodeau finish the 5 gallons of sherbet.
We need to go back to the room of resting.
No wandering monster appears while you guys are eating. You're done. They're done with the sherbet.
Woo, sugar rush.
It's right. Either that or it's like, yeah, let's go exploring. No. In
I'm
30 minutes, we'll be like, oh, we're so depressed.
Wow.
So there's two doors out of the room. What do you do?
Let's go through that east door.
So that one,
Goes into a hallway, hopefully.
yeah, I guess you probably left it open. So it's actually, make sure I switch to the right camera before I start talking about what you guys are.
How long did
No
eating the
point.
sherbet take, Matt?
About a half an hour, 5 gallons of sherbet between two people.
Okay. My fine trap spills down.
Damn.
We did establish that there are no traps on the sherbet.
All right, so you guys open up the door, and it does lead to a passageway leading to the east. Passageway is 30 feet long.
I see spider webs.
Yeah, you may see some real spider webs in there. It's been a while since I cleaned up in here. Yeah, because when the dungeon, when all the stuff's down on the floor, you can't really sweep without taking it apart. So, all right, so you guys moving forward. The light from your lantern is now shining into the hallway.
Let's go up there and peek left and right and up.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
So moves forward, and let's see. Gotta find my darkness cloth. Okay, so you look around to the south,
Woo.
and you can see the corridor goes 60 feet to the south. There is a door a little ways down in the eastern wall, and then looking around to the north, you can see that there is a after another 10 feet, the corridor turns toward the east, but at the end of it, right there, there are two vertical slits in the wall.
That was because of Jim too.
I already said I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And we know there's a trap there because I had fine traps up last time.
We call that the Jim wall and the Jim bowl.
Yeah.
All right, so there you are at the T intersection. What do you do?
Well, we're not going left.
I think we're going right by default. Isn't that door the one that Jello came out of?
That's where the
Yes,
two of them came out. And there was a
there's-
glass box in there.
Yeah,
exactly. And you left the glass box. You determined that it wasn't trapped, but you didn't try and open it.
Okay.
And we did see something in it, right?
We did, but we couldn't tell what it was.
And we're
Well,
just
let's
too
head back to
scared
that
find
room.
out.
And, yeah, see if that got. Well, we were also pretty badly banged up, I think.
That's also true.
Yeah, because the very, very fast-moving gelatinous cubes were. See, I took the words right out of your mouth, Jim.
Usain Blob.
Okay, so you step into the corridor, and so now you're looking southward down the corridor.
And just to be clear, Lethe rear guard looking back periodically as well.
Okay. So every time that you look back, Lethe, you see those two slits in the in the wall, and as you move a little bit closer to the door down the corridor, and you're checking behind you, it may be because the area is more in shadow, but you sort of see more and more sort of glittery blue sparks running up and down inside those two slits in the wall, and
Run down to the door, quick!
that does appear to be sort of gathering more
I'm running to the door. Running to the door.
sparkage. Okay,
Run to the
Move.
all right. So everybody, run round to the corner.
Shove the door open.
Open the door. Well, once again, I assume that you left that door open. So now you're in the room there. It is a 30 by 40 foot room with a door on the far side, and the glass box that was there before is still there. It's on the far side, up there next to the door.
Is it 40 foot east and west?
Yeah, 40 feet east-west.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I thought you already had it mapped. Yeah, you're entering the middle of you're entering in the middle of the room's western wall, and it's a 30-foot wall,
Okay.
and then it's 40 feet east-west, and the door on the far side is directly opposite.
Look up.
Okay, well, all right. So you look up, and immediately the people who are also trying to get the hell out of that corridor that has the thing in there pile into you from behind, and so you all sort of end up tumbling into the room. You look up, the ceiling looks normal in there.
I'm laying down looking up. Yeah.
So Matt, I'm going to poke my head out the door and look to the right towards where the lightning conduits were sparkling. Are they still sparkling now that we're out of that corridor?
It seems like it built up slowly, and it seems to be sort of
dying
back down again. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's a hint.
Yeah, don't go in that corridor unless we have to.
Yeah,
Either that or
run.
make sure a
if
bad
you
guy's
do,
between
yeah.
us and there.
Don't do it slowly.
Okay.
All right, y'all go play with the box. I'm going to go listen to the door.
Okay.
Okay, we know the box isn't trapped. So is it? Did we establish that it's locked, or is it just sealed?
Y'all did not even touch it, as far as I remember. You looked inside. I said there was stuff inside. And
We
you
were
like,
busy.
yeah, and you were like,
We were
Scanned it with
too
fine
scared.
traps and flew on out of there. Okay.
Yeah. So Thibodeau walks over to the door on the far side of the room, and he listens. And Thibodeau, you hear something that's making a sort of mechanical humming noise,
Good. It's not squishy.
kind of like wind in power cables, kind of a noise.
Okay.
There's a turbine in the room.
And then Jim, you walk up and you look at the glass box, and yes, it's it seems to have bottles inside it that are connected with tubes from one to the next.
Bottles connected with tubes from one to the next.
Yeah. So like there's a tube that goes down through the neck of the bottle into the liquid in the bottle, then comes up and it goes through like a cork and then goes over to another one, and there are little branches.
Are there a pattern to the connection? Is it like we're looking at the fluid version of a V6, or like?
Is there liquid in it?
There's liquid in it. Yeah.
And I mean, are the tubes connected? Are they kind of a random twisty paths? Or are they like? To that one and that one to this one in like any kind of pattern or shape?
Well, I mean, there's not a million of them. I mean, there's like five. There's only 5 bottles in there, so I'm not sure that.
Can't get too
you
many.
you can't tell any pattern.
Okay.
That way.
Is the liquid the same color in all of the bottles?
No, it's different.
Mm.
And is this thing sealed? You said
It appears to be made out of solid glass, but there is a little line about an inch down all the way around that looks like you might be able to lift up a lid like this.
okay. Just to be clear, that if the thing were coated with some sort of contact poison, that would qualify as a trap and be found by the spell. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, Lethe will reach out and try and move the top,
Okay.
presuming that break indicates that is the top.
Yep, and it lifts right off. So you've got little bottles connected with not wires, tubes.
Thibodeau,
Okay.
watch the back door.
Wait, sorry, what did you say, Shane?
So Thibodeau's going to watch the back door just in
Okay.
case.
All right, now that is has been left open, as I understand it, right?
Yes, I'm looking up and down
Okay.
the hallway.
So you got the little faint blue.
Dark, sparkly. Dark,
Yeah.
sparkly. Dark,
Yep.
sparkly.
What are the different colors of the flasks?
Okay, so one of them is blue.
Hmm.
One of them is red.
Yeah.
One of them is orange.
Blue, red, orange. Okay.
One of them is a sort of brownish.
Okay. Blue, red, orange, brown.
And the last one is gray.
All right. Hmm.
Does there appear to be anything of a slot or something to push or a keyhole or something in the box?
Inside the box, there is not.
What about outside?
No.
And does it can we slide it so it's not connected to the floor?
Actually, the glass appears to be connected to the floor.
So it's not going too far.
Are the bottles connected to the glass?
The bottles, as it turns out, actually go into the floor.
So like if we look into the box, it goes deeper than the floor.
Yep.
So the bottom of the box is a transparent, like you can look down and.
It keeps going somewhere.
No, it's not transparent. It's like, say somebody takes say you've got your glass little flask here, right? It goes down like this, and then there is either, excuse me,
But it's like stone.
there's
And
either
they're
floor or stone. You can't really tell which because it's transparent. But then it goes deeper than the level of the floor.
Okay.
So
Are the
All right.
bottles, let's say, about 2 feet long
the bottles are,
that we can see maybe?
the part of them that you can see is about, what is that, 7 inches?
Yeah.
6 inches, something like that. So
Okay.
Is that
And
above
then-
the floor or below the floor?
that's above the floor. You don't know how much is below.
Hey, Tibby,
All
did
that you can
check-
know is you can't move this stuff because the glass melds into the floor.
Tibby, did you check the door this is in front of?
I haven't checked it for traps. I just listened to it, and it sounds like some little metallically archy type
Okay.
stuff
And this is the only door in the room, right? The one by the
going
glass.
out.
Yes.
Besides
Do you
the one
wanna-
we came in.
Do you want to? Well, I would have seen. Well, I'll ask. Would I have seen the door with the find trap spell before? As well as the
Yes,
box?
yes, you would, and it did not. It was not trapped. I mean, nothing in the room was a trap.
All right. Which? Well, there's 5 flasks. So are more than? How are they linked? Like, for example, blue goes to red and orange goes to brown, and gray doesn't have a tube, or?
Let's see. Blue goes to red. Red has another tube going to orange. Orange has a tube going to brownish. And brownish has a tube going to gray.
Okay.
So
Okay.
most of them are connected to 2 other bottles.
The exception being gray, which is only accepted to 1,
And blue. Yeah.
Blue.
and blue.
Well, maybe the controls are below it.
Is there a spout or a spigot on any of these little
And
colored
can the,
tubes?
yeah.
There is not. All of them are sealed with these corks and have the tubes going through. You might be able to pull. It looks like you could probably pull tubes out.
But they're encased in glass, right? So we can't really.
Well,
Or
the
they-
tubes have a cork, and then the vials are corked, and the tubes go from the top of like the orange to the brown through the corks,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
you've removed the top off the glass thing. So you can now, if you wanted to, reach in and mess around with the tubes, but you can't move any of the bottles themselves because
Yeah.
those are also fixed in place.
Is there
So the-
anything running through the tubes?
Is
Now
blue liquid going to red liquid?
there is yes, there's fluid moving around in there. There's fluid moving around. Also, on the question of spigots, the blue and the gray flasks have stoppers. There is a hole through each. Okay, so each of the bottles has a cork with 2 holes through it.
Okay.
All right. tubes go through all of those, except that the gray one has an empty hole leading through where there's no tube, and the blue one has an empty hole leading through where there's no tube.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. I will kind of lower my head close to the blue bottle and sniff. Does it smell like anything in particular?
Smells like electricity.
Like kind of ozone?
Yeah.
Staticky.
Okay.
Yeah, in
and
fact,
then-
your nose hairs even sort of dance a little bit.
okay.
This is this is the nose hair dance. If anyone,
I was totally down, and I was totally appreciative as well. That was an awesome nose hair dance.
because that may be the top of my acting skills for the evening. So we'll roll it back for a second. There's the nose hair dance.
All right, and I'll do the same thing with gray. Try and sniff that.
Also smells like ozone. All of it's very highly charged with something.
Mm.
How about let's open the door first and don't cross the tubes yet.
Yeah. Maybe this is what powers the thing outside.
Well, that's kind of what I was wondering, and maybe should we disconnect the tubes that are connecting the different flasks? Do you think that might power it down, or do you think that might cause it to explode?
Oh, it could go either way, really. I don't know if I want to test that theory
Okay,
with
here
all
we
of us
go.
in here.
How about we get Artemisia, since she's got the light, okay, to kind of step out into the hallway, right? And see if the blue things kind of start sparkling up a little bit. And we'll watch the bottles and see if they start moving.
Does anything change?
Sure, I'd love to step out into the hallway.
Being that you got a lot more hit points. And didn't get no ice cream.
Yeah, well, just
Under
remember.
that theory, I should be camped out in the hallway.
Well, that means Tovak's next. So
Just remember, if something happens to me, that's half of the possible cure light wounds gone from the party.
Whereas if anything happens to Thibodeau, you know,
That's
just
more
rest
food
these-
for the rest of
the
us.
rest of
Right.
you go with me.
I will step out into the hallway.
okay. So Artemisia steps out into the hallway, and you wait a little bit, and yeah, you're able to see that the blue flickering at the end of the hallway that you're looking at is definitely getting more and more and more bluish and flickery, and electrical charge building up, starts flashing a little
That's
bit,
it. That's it.
flashing a
That's
little
it.
bit, and
And
then
is there any impact on the flasks?
not yet. So it's flashing,
yet.
and
So,
then suddenly you start to
Artemisia-
make a sort of a wavering thing like
I'm
this.
stepping back into the room.
Okay.
How
A
long did that take?
moment after you step back into the room, it takes precisely 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay.
There is a flash of blue light fills the hallway, singeing the sole of your last shoe just as you step out of the hallway and into the room. So nobody takes any damage, but you were able to time that it was exactly 60 seconds from the moment that she stepped out into the hallway to the point that she stepped back into the room.
Good
And that was when it
timing,
went off.
Artemisia. That was well planned.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Totally planned that.
I know you did. You're a cleric of Oomphalis or whoever who's planning, right? You
Yeah,
planned it down
Oompa
to
Loompa. Yeah.
Oompa Loompa. Was there any impact from any on the flasks during any of that? The build up, the discharge, any of it?
No.
Okay, well, so much for that theory.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can we try something? Can we just put one finger on the open hole of the gray tube and one finger on the open hole of the blue tube and see if that changes anything out there?
Okay.
Go nuts.
Hang on a second.
Should stop the flow between.
It does. It does not. It does not do anything.
Does the flow between the different flasks stop?
Yes.
Are there any tubes long enough that they could reach from blue to gray?
Rewire it.
Well,
That's coming up.
That's
theoretically, if the liquid's not moving, Can somebody check the hallway and see if it's still doing its powering up thing?
Okay, I'll go this time.
Okay. Once again, it begins powering up. Doesn't
I don't wait
doesn't
the
appear to
minute.
be- okay.
Time it.
Okay.
Count. 1001.
Well, this doesn't seem to do anything.
No, it doesn't seem to do anything to that.
Okay. Now the other question of whether the tubes were long enough. Yes, they are. They are long enough. You could rewire them. The only thing is that you can't complete the whole thing.
True.
Asking about blue and gray because you
There you
don't
go.
have enough of the tubes. You'd have to make one.
We're
or
still
something.
missing a tube no matter what.
Yeah, but yes, you could rearrange them in such a way that you had one going in between blue and gray. You'd have to just take one out from somewhere else, though.
I'm
Okay.
kind of inclined to leave it alone until we have a better idea about what it does.
Well, that would be a party pooper, but okay. Well, somebody go play with the door then.
And it's fused in the floor. It's not going anywhere.
All right,
Right.
let's shut
The
the
lid back on
outside
it.
door so we can open the inside door.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to shut the door to the hallway.
The door to the hallway.
So you close off your avenue of retreat. Then
The avenue of retreat into the deadly lightning charged hallway. That's I mean,
It's only deadly after a minute.
I'm
After-
Or I
not
guess
sure
59
that ever
seconds.
was an avenue of retreat. I put the lid back on the flask thing as well.
all right,
to
so
wipe
the
off the
lid's
fingerprints.
Thibodeau quickly cleans off.
No fingerprints.
Definitely an antiquities collector, not a thief. I'm just cleaning off all the fingerprints
Right.
because antiquities shouldn't have
Nothing
fingerprints.
here.
on them.
Yeah.
Wow, the forensics in this D&D campaign are highly advanced.
All right, it's Tovak's turn.
All right.
Okay.
Do your
Kick it
door
quietly.
cast open door with foot.
It's not a 6.
Okay.
I guess it's not a 5 or a 6
I think
at
it's
this point.
yeah. I think that's what it is that you fail on a 5 or a 6. Okay, so
Yeah.
you open the door, shoulder it open. Now, and this leads you into a very large and interesting room. All right. So first, Shane, just so that you can map it. All right. It's 50 feet across, 50 feet to the east-west. There is you're entering into the middle of a 30-foot wall, just the same as the room you're leaving. But at the end of that 30 feet, at the north and south end of that 30 feet, it makes a 45-degree angle outward for one square in each direction, so that that brings it to the 50-foot width, and then then there's a flat 30-foot wall, then a 45, then a 30, then a 45, then a 30, and it
So it's
works
almost
its way
like
around.
a pyramid. Or a spaceship.
No.
And does it come back in to 45 degrees?
Yeah, it
Oh,
goes.
they come in.
Yes, they come in. I'm sorry. Yeah, it doesn't keep going out with each 45-degree angles. I mean, it goes out. It goes out 45-degree angles. Then it goes straight
In.
east-west for 30 feet. Then
Yeah,
it goes inward on a 45-degree angle for one square.
Yeah.
Then it turns south for 30 feet. Then it turns inward again. So it makes a sort of a lozenge-shaped octagon.
Okay, that would be 20 feet then, maybe. Well, it's 30 by 50 feet. All right, so 45-degree out, 20 feet, and then 45 again, or 30 feet?
Okay.
30 by
let me do
45
it.
degrees.
Let me do it with a walk a walk around the wall. Okay, so you've opened the door, so you've got the door in one square. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's one square directly to the north of you.
Mm-hmm.
Then it makes a 45-degree angle toward the
I call it up.
the northeast. Thank you. But after crossing one square, then
Yeah.
it goes straight east-west, and it does that for 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, there we go. Never mind. I got it now.
Then it turns toward the southeast
Southeast.
for one. Then it
And then-
turns to the south for 3.
Yeah, then it squares off.
Then the southwest for 1.
All right.
Okay, and then square. All right, now there is a door directly across from the one that you're coming in, and there is also a door in the middle of the southern wall. Okay, so it's very, very large room. In the middle of the room, smack dab in the middle of it, there is a sculpture of several stone tentacles that rise up in sort of a circular shape. And in the middle of those, suspended in the middle of it, there is a glowing blue crackling orb of lightning hanging suspended in between all of those tentacles. The walls of the room all the way around are pixelating. The stones seem to be slightly changing color here and there,
8-bit to 16-bit.
shifting to the side a little bit, or getting a little bigger or a little smaller. And so the whole room is just filled with this kind of motion of the stones changing.
I think Artemisia's getting motion sickness.
Have a cheese sandwich.
Oh, that's
It'll-
cruel. That's
It'll help
cruel.
settle your stomach.
Actually, what'll really help settle your stomach is sherbet.
Oh, that's too late. She blew it. Hey, it'd be nice to know if there was no traps in here.
How many tentacles did you say there were, Matt?
I didn't, but there are 5.
Just enough for each of us.
I was thinking just enough for each flask, actually. Are they color coded in any way?
was gonna
Is there
ask
like
that. I
a
was just
gray
about to
tentacle
ask.
and an orange tentacle and a gray?
Are you going to go into the room and look?
Can we see from here? Like with the lantern, maybe?
That's kind of where I was headed.
Well, you don't need the lantern because you've got the flashing, flickering, spiky blue
We're just going to
light
call it lightning ball.
filling everything.
But it's gonna make everything look blue.
It is going to make everything look blue.
So all the tentacles
So-
look blue.
And maybe we can shine the lantern sort of just in there, just
in
see.
a tentacle direction.
Yeah. It's the worst that can happen.
Focus it.
You can't see any color coding visible from the 20 feet away that you are peering into the room, trying to have your yellow lantern light overcome the blue
The blue.
electricity light.
How tall is the ceiling?
The ceiling is 40 feet tall.
Which reminds me, we look up, check the ceiling.
Yep, it's same
It's
kind of
pretty.
thing.
It looks like water.
The pixelating patterns do appear like some of them have begun to group together in different places. It's not something that's happened since you opened the door. It's not a reaction to you guys being there. It looks like there are some places where things are slowly beginning to either stabilize in different areas or something of that kind.
Does the air feel staticky?
Air feels staticky, yes.
Hair and the arm sticking up.
All right.
Yep.
Artemisia, hand me the lantern. I ate the sherbet. This is just my, this is my punishment.
Look, I know you're very metal now, but this probably isn't a good idea.
Let's tie some
I
rope.
suppose- Especially since you're wearing a lot of metal.
I've got no evidence to say that about it, except that it's coming from you, but I'm pretty sure it's a bad idea.
I was about to say, and that stopped us when?
It should have stopped us a lot of times.
Never.
And has it ever?
This could be the first. We could start a new trend.
Ooh.
Ooh, I don't know. You know how we feel about change.
Yeah, no change now. It was hard enough going to spoons.
All right. Here's the lantern.
All right. So,
Can we put a rope around him just in case?
probably a good idea. So rope me off,
Okay.
and I will move into the room slowly.
As soon as you start moving into the room, there are several stinging little jellyfish-like stings on you, and you pull back
Instinctively. Yeah.
and you realize that there are little itty-bitty specks of some kind of matter hanging in the air of the room.
It's fairy dust. Blow them out of the way.
Well, the ones the one or two that you got on you that were the ones that caused that stinging, it's actually almost like some sort of thick, viscous liquid or.
I got an interdimensional booger on me. Thibodeau, come here.
Gelatinous cube. It's not. We get to taste it.
Okay, you taste it and it burns your tongue and stings you like a jellyfish. So now you're having trouble talking like that.
Hey, we can put this on the recipe. It's pretty good.
This party in this dungeon is like entrusting an infant with a thermonuclear weapon.
Yeah.
Tevek's like, yeah. We own that.
It's pretty good.
All right. From the mere moment that I was inside the room, was I able to get a better look at the tentacles?
No, your attention was immediately caught by the fact that there was something totally unexpected going on in the air.
Okay. And did it hit only? It's a good question. I'll ask. Did it hit only exposed skin, or did it was there a part where it went through armor, or?
The only place that you felt it was on an exposed skin. You did see a couple of little specks of it that were on the armor. It didn't appear like they harmed the armor, though.
All right. What about cloth?
Also, same thing. It seems like they were there, but they didn't eat through the cloth or anything, and then they went inert or something.
TB, don't you have goggles on of some kind? Doesn't somebody have some goggles? Am I remembering correctly?
Not here.
Not here? Because that would be the one concern, is that we could...
I'm going to go invisible.
Okay.
And try to taste one again.
I have no idea what he's going to do.
Probably die.
I can make some guesses.
He's going to die invisibly and we can't save him.
All right.
I'm going to go invisible and like stick my hand in there and save it.
Okay. Yeah, your hand still gets stung, even though your hand is invisible.
Maybe
Is there
it's
a
like
giant bee in here?
maybe it's like a spider web. But
It didn't work.
shocking.
Shocking. Oh no.
Can we now that we know that they're there, can we see these little particles? Do they appear to be moving?
Yeah, it's kind of like when it's raining outside and you kind of have to defocus your eyes a little bit to be able to actually see raindrops when they're coming down. Then when you do that, then yeah, you can see these little tiny beads of they might be greenish, except that the blue, there's a blue light. You can't really tell. They're almost transparent.
For the love of God, Shane, you don't have the tongue. It's Tibby.
Just play a character, man.
There's such a thing as too much immersion.
No, I'm going to run back there and get that 10-foot tarp off of Rocky.
Oh, is that what you were saying?
You didn't get it?
Now I understand all of it.
Of course, I was invisible too, so like.
All right, so the tarpaulin starts getting pulled slowly off of Rocky, and so you've got the tarpaulin, and it finally comes off of Rocky and then disappears, and you see dust on the floor dragging as Thibodeau underneath the tarp pulls the thing over. All right,
Give it to Metalhead.
Wait, what? I already
I
did
touched it
it
twice. It's your turn.
I am actually too big to be completely covered by a 10-foot tarpaulin. I think this is all you, Tibby. Yes, but then I'm like elevate, and there's going to be parts on that aren't going to connect to the floor. I think this is all you, Tibby. I think that you're the form factor required.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I did my part. I tasted it.
Wait, wow. How is that your part?
Here's a tarp. It don't bother the skin. Merry Christmas.
The Jeopardy theme is a big
All right, so everyone stands there looking down at the tarpaulin.
and listening to Tibby go. Do we have a volunteer? who's
Thankfully,
not me?
thankfully,
Yeah.
now the pain on Thibodeau's tongue has gone away.
The pain on Thibodeau's tongue, which mysteriously transformed into the pain in all of our butts.
Wait a minute. I think I want to go taste it again. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm
Make it
sorry.
break out.
Sorry, I said anything.
Well, if you're going in there anyway, take the tarp with you.
And crawl on up to the while you're
I
in
would
there.
go toward the tentacles. I see another door over there. Let's-
Matt, if
Give me a rope. Put a tarpaulin on me.
All right, here you go. We tie Tibby off and throw the tarp over him.
Okay, so first you tie him off, then you just drape the tarpaulin over him.
And do you have any metal on you? You know,
Actually, we need to do that the other way around. Otherwise, he's gonna. So we drape the tarpaulin and then we tie him off.
Okay, so
Otherwise,
first you put the tarp over him, then you tie the rope around him. Okay, so now you've got
Oh, boy.
dressed up like a ghost Thibodeau that can sort of shuffle into the room.
All right, you
Okay.
anything go
Did we at least cut him some eye holes?
All right.
No, get in the eyes.
no, he's gonna get it in the eye. I think the idea is that we left the tie off loose enough so that he could slip it off if he needed to.
Okay.
I'm going to.
That means you're not going to be able to haul him back reliably either.
If
Nah,
we make
but
it into like
it's-
a lasso, sure, we
Yeah.
could do it. We could just pay the rope out, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be.
tied around the neck.
So if it's
It's
lasso, right? if it goes up around his neck, that's true. We will in fact throttle him, but so we'll make it kind of lasso type rope. So
Okay.
that it'll
If you
tighten.
hear a scream, pull.
Except you scream all the time, Tibby.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so you get all that arranged, and so Thibodeau, you're going to shuffle into the room
I'm going to shuffle, yeah, but stay on the wall towards the door.
on the wall. Okay, so you're heading north or south from.
I am heading south. I am heading southeast. I am heading east to the door.
Okay, all right. So you sort of work your way along. You get over to that other door. What do you do? So y'all are all watching. There's flashes and flickering all on the tarpaulin. What do you do?
Listen.
Okay, you do not hear anything.
Okay. Any changes with anything in the room? More intense?
Nope.
Matt, can I ask, the other hallways and walls in the level, do they all show evidence of this kind of pixelation effect, or was it just like the portal up at the top of the stairs and
this room.
You have not seen enough sampling to know. You saw it on the stairs, but then you stopped and ate sherbet in the one room. And
Is that
didn't check
pixelated?
it. That you don't remember because you were eating sherbet, and then you went into the hallway, but you ran through the hallway. Then you
Plenty
went
of time in the
into.
glass.
It's fair enough. We didn't actually search anything down there.
Yeah, so you don't know, but you've certainly seen it in two places in a big way,
Okay.
and didn't notice it in other places.
Where
that you-
conceivably we could have.
Right, but I'll tell you this: if it was in those other places, it would have had to have been at a lower level than what was going on with those stairs, and what's going on in
We
here.
would, to the extent we would have had to actively look for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But once again, you've got it bunching up in here in some places, and so if that's a fractal type pattern, it could be that you're seeing the bunched up areas, and you didn't look to see whether it was happening other places as well.
Is
Right.
anything happening with the glass box and the the liquids inside of it while Thibodeau is in the room with all the lightning weird stuff going on.
When you look, you see that the fluid quantity in all of the bottles was roughly the same when this whole thing started. The liquid level in the blue glass jar seems to have gone down quite a bit relative to the others. All the rest of them are a little more. That one seems to be going down and moving down. And it is 7 o'clock. Let's take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll come on back.
Okie doke.
Right. Sure did. Holy crap.
I never know what all's been going on when I take the break, because sometimes you guys do commercials for stuff that you want to do commercials for. Sometimes you talk about the dungeon, and sometimes everyone's just like, okay, yeah, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to go finish, pizza.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
I've got one of those ambiguous, maybe good, maybe bad things. I just got a coffee maker, and I grabbed a cheap one, and it's one that doesn't have the automatic shut off. So it's a good thing that I have hot coffee at all, because the automatic shut off, it would have just been cold. But it's also been cooking for about 3.5 hours, I think, which is about an hour and a half longer than coffee ought to stay heated. So it's
perfect.
no, it's not.
Coffee you can eat with a fork.
Yeah, but
you use a spoon to get every drop.
As you would with sherbet.
Just chew it up.
No, it's not that bad, but
So put them in the ice cubes and stuff like that, and then save them for later.
So we've got Alberta's suggestion is for a Faraday cage. So in that one, you'd be locking Thibodeau up in an iron box and then just sort of scooting him into the.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, I suspect I might be up at around 30 odd cups of coffee a day. It's very possible. Cups, not mugs. But so here's the situation. You've got Thibodeau is in the room listening at a door at the south door and is not hearing anything. Everybody else is in the room. You have closed the door behind you. You have got the liquid level in the blue liquid flask has gotten down almost to the very bottom of the container, although it's got some unknown distance that it could still go down because of the way that it goes down lower than the floor. So you're not going to know exactly when it is that it's out. But it's clearly it's going down, it's visibly going down while Thibodeau's in the room.
Does that make the other ones go up?
It is making the other ones go up slightly, yes.
So like that would mean the red is going up first, flown into the...
They can't really, as far as it pretty much looks like the other ones are going up about even, but yeah, it would be in, the order of the thing. But that's not as dramatic as the blue going down. The blue is almost gone. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a very slow count to 10.
When you do that, you know what that means? Run.
So you're going to run?
We're going back that way.
All right. So,
Timmy, the DM's counting down.
8.
I'm screaming!
all right. So you scream, they haul you back in. And once he crosses the threshold again, the blue liquid begins to rise again.
Somebody go pee in the thing, make the blue go up more.
Who can pee blue? Everyone who can pee blue, raise your hands.
I think I'm up to orange now with all the sherbet.
If only the hobgoblin were here.
So let's open the glass box again.
Okay.
And block the 2 empty holes, the one into blue and one into gray.
Okay.
I wrap myself in the tarp and just hop into the room, just like one step.
Okay.
Does the blue start to drop at that point?
So you covered up what? The blue and the gray hole?
Yes, it does. They've got the 2 holes covered up.
Okay.
But it's not stopping the movement of the stuff.
Here we go. Let's try this.
Okay. Because it stopped it before, but it didn't. But apparently, it didn't stop it this time. So
when the
pop
blue
back out.
liquid was going down, was it getting more active in the room?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't we take the blue hose, unhook it from the red, put the blue into the blue, and that way the blue won't go down.
Okay, so you're gonna do it to where just blue goes into blue and it's
Yeah, back
separated
up.
out from everything
Infinite
else.
loop.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
And okay, are the tubes made of a material that
That's one of the great DM things that happens is you've got, this sort of vague way that something works and you don't think of a thing that someone could do. And then you got to figure out, okay, what the hell would that do in this in this imaginary physics of the way
Exactly.
this thing works?
You put it in here.
we can go back to eating sherbet? That was fun.
Yeah, the bowl
Okay,
might have
so
refilled itself.
you take the tube out with the blue and you make blue to blue, and all of a sudden it goes completely dark in the room.
Like shine the lantern and impenetrable wall of darkness.
No, you shine the lantern in, and there are the tentacles that had the electrical thingy bob, but apparently you just turned off the electricity.
Oh, well done, Tibby.
Right.
Yeah,
Tibby did
especially
it.
since it didn't occur to me. It didn't even occur to me that would be a way of doing that, but it would.
Okay,
Yeah, you
and
put 'em there.
is it? Sorry, I just read Allah's comment in chat. The
The comment for those who can't see the chat, and I don't think that the chat room can see the internal chat. I'll have typed in the orange tube is the sherbet producing tube.
We'll break that one like a straw.
so is it basically working as Tibby intended, that the blue is coming out and then just feeding right back in?
Who the hell knows what Tibby was intending?
Is it working
Not
the
even
way
Tibby,
I
really.
assume Tibby was intending it? That the
It-
blue liquid is coming
Sure.
out and then flowing right back
I
in.
just like blue.
Here's the thing: it gets more powerful as the blue liquid goes down, and then a thing happens. But if you do what I had forgotten that you could do, which is just detach the blue from everything else, then the blue can't go down. So I'm gonna say it turned it off.
Okay. All right. So
My understanding of this is only a couple of steps ahead of yours. I mean, it's
It's a pretty
Well,
low
see,
bar in my case.
I mean, it's interesting that you're that candid about it.
See what it was? I was figuring the shorter it was getting, the more powerful it is. Y'all remember that? So we didn't let it get shorter, right? So here we go.
Because shortness is power.
Shortness is power. I got it.
I'm stunned at how everything seems to turn into it's about Tibby.
Duh.
Go out and look into the hallway of electricity. Are the bolts? Is that still happening? Like
1 minute.
Nope, that seems there's no more blue flashing lights in those two vertical slits. They're just looking at you like dead, empty eyes.
Tibby, you killed the dungeon.
I'm-
You
I'm-
deactivated the entire dungeon. All right, I'm going to go into the room. I assume no more stingy things.
Actually, there are stingy things, but they seem to only be getting you from like the shoulders down. It's almost as if they were held up in suspension in the air, but now they're starting to drift downward.
Okay. Well, then I'll step back out of the room and wait for another minute or two, and then go
All
back
right,
in.
so the floor of the room, after you wait a little bit, looks kind of slick with this gelatinous liquid,
Oh,
and
shit.
and it seems to be forming up into puddles that are strangely square shaped.
Oh,
Gosh darn it.
yay!
Unplug the blue. Unplug the blue.
We got to get them somewhere in between.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean they're all done. They've
Oh.
come down. They've formed themselves into little squares. They don't appear to be alive. They don't appear to be doing anything.
So they're gelatinous squares as opposed to gelatinous cubes.
Yeah, they're gelatinous squares. But,
Gelatinous
hey, you
squares.
already fought a gelatinous hypercube.
So,
Make it big smaller.
so we're moving down from hypercube to 3 dimensions to 2 dimensions.
Yeah, well, I mean, arguably you were fighting against gelatinous points when you
I was
were
about to say
walking
the
through
points. We got points in space too.
Yeah.
So that means we're up to gelatinous nubs.
Yeah, you got
We got gelatinous points in space. Now we've got 2-dimensional squares. We fought cubes and then the hypercubes into other dimensions.
yeah. So it's gelatinous lines. Is the
Gelatinous
only thing.
lines. All right, we're going to be on the lookout for that, having now suggested it to Matt. All right,
Jim
so
did it again. Remember that?
I will now go into the room and
Okay,
look at the tentacles. Are they color-coded as we theorized or not?
they are not.
Okay. All right. Are they made of metal?
Oh,
stone?
Tom's watching from Norway. Hey, Tom. You're in Norway and you've got nothing better to do than watch the same television that you were watching.
Are they stone, metal?
They're stone.
They're stone. Okay.
They're
Check the
stone.
door.
They've
I
got
didn't hear nothing.
spiral sort of patterns carved into them. It's the sort of the Teminoan earth magic kind of thing that you've seen several times before. So it might be one of those magical accelerators or gatherers or things.
Oh yeah, looks familiar from the other world.
Yeah, see, I'm wondering now, is there any way that we can harvest that blue fluid?
We can suck it out.
Yeah.
Because it's right? Because obviously it's a source of amazing power.
That's true.
But orange is sherbet.
I feel like we have
harvested
to
the
get
sherbet.
at least some of them just to see what they do.
Right? I mean, but the flasks themselves are implanted in the floor.
Yes.
Mm.
We
But
got
we've
a few
Practically
We've
flags.
got a straw.
salivating at the idea of us trying to get that stuff out of that flask.
It's like
so
siphoning
happy.
gasoline.
I know. I'm so happy I didn't put it up raised somewhere where you could just siphon it down. In fact, it's actually lower than the level, so you can't siphon it. That was totally planned ahead of time. Yeah.
And
You can still create
fused
the
into the
suction
floor, so we
force.
can't just lift it out and carry it.
Yep.
Because otherwise we could just connect all tubes to all flasks, just so that they all loops and carry them.
Speaking of, since the blue one is unconnected from everything, does it
Yes.
kind of jiggle and will the Bluetooth come out?
The blue
Well,
tube
you-
or the blue
As I understand,
The blue flask.
flask.
will it come out? No, it won't come out.
Okay.
My understanding was that you just you took
Yeah, yeah.
a Luba tube and you stuck it boom into the two openings in the blue one. So
Yeah. Okay. Just want to see if the the blue flask just don't come out, just in case.
nope.
No.
doesn't.
Yeah, they're all fused into the floor.
All right, go check the door. I didn't
Okay.
hear anything.
You did not hear anything. You
We already
check
listed
it for. Okay. So what are you just checking it for traps?
I'll check the south one for traps, and then I will move to the north one, and then listen and check for traps.
Okay. So the first thing that happens when you just start doing some inspections on that south door, let me see. I'm gonna have to draw a picture of this because I just can't.
Uh-oh.
The edge of the door is
That's it,
like
Dot.
is like this. Okay. So it's all where it should be a straight line with the wood. The wood and the stone
Or jagged. Or
are
off
jagged
set,
along the
whatever
edge
hell you
like
call
that.
it.
Yep.
Both sides of the door?
All the way around it. Yeah.
Okay, top and bottom too.
And
huh?
there are little nodules of stone that are in the wood itself.
Keyhole, handle.
There used to be a handle there, but it's now a bizarre shape. I mean, you might be able to get it and unlatch it in some way, but you're gonna guess that with all the deformation that's happened around the edges of the thing, whatever latch was there is not going to work. You're going to have to break it open.
Has the room stopped pixelating?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that was a product of the lightning. I mean, you do know now that it was the lightning that was causing the pixelating rather than something else causing the lightning, because you figured out what causes the lightning. So
Okay. Y'all, that door's pretty clear. I'm going to listen to the other one.
Okay. You do not hear anything inside the other door either.
Is this door the same way, or is it normal?
This is the same way, yeah.
Same way. Okay. Let's try to find some way to check it for traps.
Okay. You do not find any traps on it.
All right, y'all. I checked the doors. I did my part. I didn't die.
Do you have a preference for which one we throw open?
Since they didn't say nothing, we'll say south.
Okay. I'm rather than kicking it open because this weird shape is just really disconcerting. I'm just gonna try to open it with my hands.
Okay, so you open it with your hands. It doesn't pull, and then a piece of breaks off in your hand, the latch, so that you've got this sort of mixed piece in your hand that's half gravel. It's kind of like wood that's been rotted and had lots and lots of gravel stuffed into it.
All right then, foot it is.
All right, roll a d6.
It's a 1. Perfect.
Okay, so you kick it open, and the most of the door just falls away because there was so much of this intermixing of stone and wood in there that it doesn't. It's the structural integrity is just not there. So most of it actually just falls away when you do that. You're looking into a 30 by 30 room, and inside the room there are 3 sarcophagi standing against the south wall upright. And there are bodies in the sarcophagi that are dressed in jeweled ceremonial outfits. But it's like, there was a nice little line of gems here. Now it's all like ragged, and some of the gems seem to be wood rather than stone. And the bodies no longer seem to be exactly human shaped. They're sort of formed strangely now as a result of all of this sort of pixelation going in there. Tovak, roll a d6 and let's see whether you are surprised by their reaction, because they react as soon as you kick the door open.
2.
Okay.
Do they scream?
Okay. You beat their roll, so you see them beginning to move. What do you do?
I guess I'm gonna draw my sword and ready.
Okay.
I mean, they might just want to say hi, but I doubt it.
They just want to give us a hug.
That's exactly right.
They just want to invite us to dinner,
We
or
got
at least
leftover
a sherbet. Yeah.
Anybody else going to move up next to Tovak in the door? Tovak, you going to move into the room, out of the room?
I guess I'll move in to engage them.
Okay.
I will try to turn them when I get an opportunity.
Okay.
You and me both.
All right, that'll be at the top of the round. So you're able to, since Tovak beat their roll, both of you guys get your turning attempts. Roll 2d10 and add the results, and let me know what you got.
Come on, big bucks, no whammy.
So immediately 2 holy symbols get brandished.
One on the left side of Tovak, one on the right side.
Actually 4, since both
Actually, yeah,
of us
really
worship
4.
2 deities.
Yeah, just don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams.
That's right. You end up with a really well prepared angry zombie.
I feel like my deities are not with me today.
What you got, Jim?
A 5 on 2d10.
Wow.
And I have a 10 on 2d10.
Okay.
For all the holy power we're wielding, that's a pretty limp result.
Yeah, there really is.
It's all that sherbet you ate.
Totally is. It's slowing me down.
We'll say that that's enough to stop one of them
I'll take it.
doing anything. So one of them, it's sort of its eyes glow bluish, but then it's sort of with the power of the deities holding it back, it sort of almost becomes dusty. And little parts of it jiggle around and seem to be sort of moving into the wrong places. The other 2, however, their eyes light up just fine. And so it's going to All right, so Tovak. Make 2 saving throws
For magic.
versus magic. Yes.
Nice.
So you got your bonus on that.
Nice. A natural 19 and a natural 20. Oh,
All
boy.
right.
Wow.
I'm never going to roll
Wow.
that well again.
So
You
yeah.
may
So
have to next round.
all right. So that they use up their entire focus and power fighting through the divine energy that's pulsing toward them, kind of weakly from the 2 clerics.
And
But
the 4 holy symbols.
it's enough to hold them back, and the light from the eyes beams out, and Tovak sort of brushes it aside, and so that is their move. Okay, so you guys are turning. Tovak, you're in melee. You
Yep.
can attack.
All right. Let's see. 13 on the die. Plus 2, so let me double check the table real quick. That would hit AC 1.
That's a hit.
Cool.
Damage.
Ooh, nice. 9 points of damage.
Okay. What kind of die here? Okay. I'm sorry. How much did you do?
9 points. And I just remembered that I've got my magical spacesuit, which would have been perfect for this stingy room.
I
Instead of
know, but you weren't wearing it because you.
it's in on Rocky probably.
Yep. Okay, so that one. All right, so you hack into one of them, and so bits and pieces of it sort of come off in weird chunks that don't even seem to really match the cut that you made with the sword. Anybody moving?
I want to move.
Okay, where are you going?
Since I was invisible, I want to shimmy my way through and get behind one of them.
Okay, so you're able to do that, no problem, because they moved out from the wall a little bit when they moved toward Tovak. So you're able to sort of get in there in between.
The word "in between" doesn't sound good. I'd
And
rather say behind.
none of this was supposed to happen this way. This was all supposed to happen with my bitchin',
electric room.
electric stuff going here. So things are not going well for these guys. All right, so you're able to move around. Clerics, you guys can move and still maintain
The push.
your hold on the magic on the one of them.
Hmm.
I'll move up to behind Tovak then.
Okay.
As in, like in position to cast a cure spell.
Okay.
Put one holy symbol over each shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go to spells and missiles, and you guys are maintaining the turn. If you want, you can roll and take the new result on your turn.
I'll do that. Hard to be worse than a 5.
I'll keep mine for now.
Famous last
I don't know
words.
why I said that.
Yeah,
I know.
right.
Why would you say that?
Not
Jim?
out loud anyway.
I'm definitely keeping mine.
Okay.
Oh God.
I got a 6.
It's so hard to get good help.
Well, that was
It wasn't worse than a 5.
it
It was
was
just one better. So
well, it's better than a 5.
it
So
is in fact better than a 5.
not enough better than a 5 to change anything that goes on.
Letty's like gritting her teeth like, oh, I'm so holy. Come on now.
Meanwhile, Muriel's going, just pick a god.
Left, right, pick one.
All right, so that means that So it's going to target one I-beam, or one of them is shut down on using the I-beams. One of them is going to target Artemisia. Make a saving throw.
Uh-oh.
That's against magic. And Tovak, make a saving throw against magic.
I'm fine.
I totally failed that saving throw.
Oh
A
no.
2.
Okay. So finally, you get to see what it is that these things are supposed to do.
Yay!
One of them is
I
to
die not knowing.
roll tremendously better. Oh, there we go. Okay, 7. Ooh, okay, 12 points of damage.
Oof.
So
Is it blue eye beam?
electrical arcs
Uh-huh.
connect the two of you guys, and you're totally zapped with that. You are able to maintain the effect of your turning, though.
Don't cross the streams.
And then Tovak, you once again are able to just sort of duck aside from the things because it seems to be moving more slowly than electricity ought to be moving. So that's spells and missiles. Melee. Thibodeau, you're in melee range. Are you going to attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna backstab the one that was already wounded.
Okay.
Nice.
15, 6, 7, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23.
Yeah, that'll be a
It's
hit.
like a nick.
Roll damage.
And... Ooh, 6. So that'd be times 3 because of the thieving.
Nice.
Whoa.
12, 18.
Okay,
Oh
so
God.
so Thibodeau
We're
just
like-
jams the short sword into the thing, and you hit. You know the way that these things are filled with little gaps and things as a result of all the material changing around in front of you. You hit just in the exact right spot where it splits in half in a perfect jigsaw-y kind of line and falls into two halves, one to each side. And then it proceeds to crumble into some sort of gemstone-looking dust.
Ooh, hello.
No, this is glitter. It's basically craft herpes. We'll never get it out of our beards.
Glitter is the herpes of craft supplies. It really is.
It gets everywhere. You can go blind. Just you don't mess with glitter.
I actually like Shane's comment in chat too. Turned his 8-bit ass to 2-bit.
Yep.
Pixelate.
Pixelate this.
Goodness.
And then Tovak, you're also in melee range.
All right. Well, this one's dust. So let's see. Maybe I can hit the other one. Yeah, that should be AC 0.
Hit.
7 points of damage.
Okay, it's still alive.
We can't all be Thibodeau, but
Ain't that a bad thing to say?
That was
it's actually
Hey, I could
probably
wish
for the
that.
best.
I wonder if I still got a wish. We could wish that.
No.
Everybody,
No.
everybody is Thibodeau.
No.
Suddenly a party of Thibodeau.
But you know what they say: when everybody's
Oh my
a
goodness.
Thibodeau, then no one is.
okay. So now, anybody who wants to switch weapons around or anything like that. Otherwise, we're up to the turning point where the clerics can decide whether they want to try and improve their rolls. Give it a shot, Jim. Can't do any worse than a 6.
Oh, I can.
Get that 7.
I've switched dice every time, trying to find the die that won't roll me a 1.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm keeping mine.
A 4.
Oh no.
You rolled 2 10-siders,
Yeah.
and you added the results together,
I did.
and the answer was a 4.
A 4.
Okay, make a saving throw.
I've also rolled, for the record, 2 10-siders, added the results together, and gotten a 5 and a 6. Ugh, my saving throw was also a 4.
Okay, so you
Can't all be
take
Thibodeau.
5, 11, 17. I just rolled a 17 on 3d6. You take 17 points of damage from the electrical arc.
You did better on 3d6 than I did on 60-10.
Oh, wow.
17
Holy crap.
points.
17
All right.
points.
I am still up, but man, oh man, am I crispy critters.
And then the other one will go to. Oh no, the other one. Okay, so no, that was okay. So that was because you lost the guy. But all right, so Artemisia, you're able to keep the second one from casting the I-beam thing. So what it's going to do is it's going to just attack Tovak with his arm, and so it swings, and Tovak easily steps out of the way of that. So that's spells and missiles. Now we go to melee. Thibodeau, you're the fastest. You are behind the remaining two.
Finish them.
Yeah. Can I backstab the one that is not held?
Yes, you can.
Ooh, okay. Yo, funky boy. That is an armor class of 3.
It's a miss.
Oh, yes.
Armor class 2. Okay, so it's a good try, but you miss.
Damn.
Tovak. One is wounded, one is not.
All right, trying to finish off the window. Oh, well, I rolled a natural 1. So
Okay.
Damn.
I offered my weapon.
Yeah. Here, take it.
It seems like you're having some trouble hitting me. Would you like to use my sword?
We're gonna roll a d6 on a 1 or a 2. You lose hold on the weapon, but you do not. You're able to. It slides a little bit out of your hand, but you're able to grab it back in.
It's that fine elvish make.
Spells and missiles. Jim, you want to try and change your? I bet you can roll better than a 4.
I bet that if I took another 17 points of damage, I'd be dead. So instead, I'm going to queue up a cure spell.
Okay. Liz, what are you doing?
I am maintaining the turn.
Okay, so you're stopping one of the two guys from using its I-beam weapon.
And actually, it's worse than even that, Matt. So with 1d20 and 60-10, I only beat your 3d6 roll by 2. I totaled 19 on all 7 of those dice.
Yeah.
7 dice.
That's
amazing.
Yeah,
it is kind of amazing. 60-10 plus a saving throw on a d20, and I didn't break 20.
So Tovak, make a saving throw.
I make it.
Okay.
I
so
just have to roll above a 5.
Okay. So once again, sort of these slow, soupy streams of electricity come out from the eyes, and you're just able to duck under it, no problem. Melee phase. Thibodeau, you're the fastest.
Ooh. Did he notice me? Can I still backstab him?
Artemisia is keeping him locked. Is keeping one of them locked down. Tell you what, roll. If you can move silently, then you can manage a backstab because you
45.
Yeah.
Roll it.
All right, I'll roll it. Nope, you get a 92, so no backstab.
Well, it gives me +4 instead of +8. So
it does.
All right, what we got? Ooh, that one actually is a cool 15. It's AC2.
AC2's a hit.
Oh shit!
Roll damage.
Barely.
But
might not have pixelated them, but I got 3 points.
That kills the one that was wounded.
Oh damn!
Nice.
Okay, so there's only one remaining. It's the one that that Artemisia has got on lockdown with the holy symbol. So the only way that it can attack is sort of by flailing around with these fragile limbs that it's got. Tovak, it's you.
Well, I'm gonna step over close to it and hopefully take it out while it's still held. And that's going to be a -2 on the AC. So
that'll be a hit. Roll damage.
6 damage.
Okay, so it is still alive and it swings its arm at you. And what is your armor class? Like 0 or something, right?
It's -1 now that I got the new shield.
Okay, so it swings and you knock it aside with the shield. Spells and turning. Artemisia, you are holding the lockdown. Jim, you get your spell. You can heal yourself.
Cure Serious.
3-1.
Oh no!
On 2d6 plus 2, that was 7. been worse, but it could have been a lot
Could have
better.
been worse.
That's not that
Oh.
bad, right?
I hear Artemisia over there snickering.
It's another.
2d6 plus 2. It's
It's a
you would
5.
expect to
so
get a. Yeah,
yeah.
it's not a great roll, but it's
No,
sub.
you'd
It's
expect to
sub
get a 7.
Yeah.
You know, Mitra has a wonderful plan for your life.
Apparently, Mitra's plan is what I'm living right now. Like I'm paying for all the Metallus worship.
When was the last time you
This
went to
is-
pray?
Mitra's
Really?
sticking it to me. I'm getting all this like Umfalo Mitra interference from you over here. I can't access true metal and whatever Muriel is.
Okay, so that was in the spells and turning phase. So then we're back in melee. So Thibodeau, it's you. Then it's going to be Tovak. Then it will get its chance to attack.
I'm gonna try to
So
cut
Thibodeau,
off
go
the-
ahead.
No backstab or backstab?
No backstab.
No backstab already. 18. That's a makes 1 hit. And 3 points.
Okay, it's still alive. Tovak,
It's going to be AC 1
that's a hit.
and 4 points.
4 point. All right, it's still alive.
So we're just chipping away at it.
Yeah, this one you decided to kill this one slowly. Now that you've got it helpless. So the lines of the electricity are still coming out of the eyes, but they're getting sucked into the holy symbol of Mitra that Artemisia is holding up.
Show off.
So it swings its arm at Tovak and it rolls a 4, so it's a terrible miss. Maybe that'll make you feel a little bit better, Jim. I rolled a 4. I rolled a 4 on a d20.
So I've rolled a 4 on like any like 6 combinations of dice so far tonight.
Okay, so that spells and turning Artemisia. You want to try and turn up the heat on this thing, or
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Jim?
This appears to be working. I'm good.
No, I think Lethe is going to move into melee. Actually,
Okay.
It's safer there.
All right. So in melee first is Thibodeau.
Oop, 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 oop. Oh, crap. No, it's a miss.
Who's faster, Lethe or Tovak?
I think
think
Lethe with a
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Now you know how I feel. You know
It's
how
okay.
I feel.
I also miss. So
I rolled a 5.
Just going
I
around
also
here.
rolled a 5. We're just this thing is just too powerful for us.
Okay,
It was too slow. We couldn't get him.
it has people missing it left, right, and center, and it leans right forward and it attacks Artemisia.
Woo.
What's your armor class?
1.
Good AC.
All right, so it really, really almost hits. I rolled almost, but unfortunately not quite. So that's the melee phase. So Liz, you gonna take another stab at? No,
No.
Jim. Everyone's in melee then. All right, Thibodeau, it's you.
Alrighty. Nope.
Okay. Jim.
Can I get one D20 of my collection that's going to roll something that, in double digits? I don't insist that it actually be. No, still no. That's a 3.
Right back to those days when the D20s didn't, they were just 0 through 1 twice. Tovak.
All right, I hit.
Okay. Damage.
Ooh.
8 damage.
That kills it. Okay.
Yay.
So it also falls apart into a large number of valuable looking gems, nuggets of wood, pieces of useless stone. It just sort of comes apart into a pile. So
Scoop it all up.
okay.
Oh,
Did
I've
you
killed
say
a lot of undead, but this is new.
this is a cool one though?
Well, I'm sure there'll be people back in the city who would be interested to study some of this debris.
Oh, we taking all of it if we can. Except for the wood.
Oh my God! I'm looking at the chat from our viewers, and they're chiding me for not spending enough time at the temple.
Yeah.
I mean, Alberta has a very good point.
Muriel is pissed off.
The audience is like, no,
They
you
voted.
need to pray harder. I think one of the comments was burn those dice.
Let's
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
search the.
It would be really,
Okay.
really funny to do some sort of, if you could figure out some sort of divine intervention mechanism that could depend upon what people were doing in a chat room.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That would be really, really funny.
We shall stop to burn the dice.
Okay, so you've got these piles of stuff. Thibodeau begins trying to pick out pieces of wood from them.
The wood blows away.
Well, no, I mean there's little square chunks of wood.
Let's search the
They're cubes, actually. 6-sided cubes of wood.
Ooh.
Perfectly even.
Are there
See how they roll.
numbers?
Don't give them to me.
Yeah, let's see how they roll. We'll give them to him.
They do not have numbers on them, though.
Okay.
Not
I
yet.
just figured we were sticking with the Minecraft theme that everything is just like voxels.
Everything's-
Well,
So
I'll
I'm-
save some of those cubes. I'm sure we could probably take them to somebody back in town.
Well, a lot of the
Someone-
cubes look like they are, garnet, maybe sapphire. There's some very, very valuable
Yeah.
gems.
Like I
in
said,
there.
we're gonna put them all in that tarp if we have to.
You're going to have to.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You've got 3 people worth of rubble.
Yeah.
and then I mean we literally have lightning in a bottle back there. So I figured
them.
there's got to be a way to. So if we have
Stick
some
a straw into something, put your finger over the top of the
Exactly.
straw.
You get a little bit back and forth,
Right.
right?
we can
It'll
do
take a
that,
while.
or alternatively, you could with one tube going out and one tube going in, you could blow into one, and that would force the.
You should
assuming-
totally try that one. Yeah.
So I wasn't going to do it. Tibby's going to do
What
it.
was that? I've already tasted. Oh, speaking of, let's do the antiquities collection and check out them sarcophagus.
Okay, those do not have any intrinsic value. It was the gems and things that were on the that they were wearing, which then whatever effect it is that lightning had of causing that pixelation and stuff like that, the pixelation and the static across planes of existence. So you've got nothing, what once might have been a circular gem is now, like half wood, half gem. So it's all kinds of really, really weird crossovers like that and shapes.
Cool.
Most of the all of it seems to happen in straight lines, though there are no curving lines of anything like that. So so you're able to gather all of that stuff up into the tarp, but the sarcophagi themselves don't have any value.
Okay. Let's while we're doing that, I want to go take an empty flask.
Okay.
And collect our mini cubes outside in that other room.
They're not cubes now, they're flat squares.
They're planes.
Are they still liquidy, gooey?
Yeah, ouch, you burn your fingers on one.
Okay, I'm gonna take my fork. I'm gonna fill up a
Take your
flask. with 'em.
spoon.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it doesn't work with it. You're slowly, after a while, you're able to spoon some of your stuff, and it does, and your spoon now looks like a grapefruit spoon. It's raggedy at the edges.
1 flask of electric goo.
Well, Tovak, are you with me with the whole straw into empty flask with the lightning in a bottle?
Well,
I think
I'm
that's a
not-
2-person operation.
I'm not with you. Which part am I? The blowing part or the
Hey.
catching part?
Hey,
Well, I don't think we're going to do the blowing thing. I think we'll do the dip the straw, cover the straw, lift out, put into.
We got-
Okay.
you
That
got a
could
Tibby
work.
intelligent check here.
Okay.
If we lower that liquid, it's going to turn back on.
Yeah.
Right now.
We'll be on the
We'll
other side.
be
Of it.
outside. We'll be on the other side of the
Well,
door.
we might not want to do it until we go through the other door first.
That's true. Let's
Just
do
in
some
case.
exploring before we ruin the perfect kind of ecosystem we have here. Or we're
It's
not
also, I guess, there's
dying.
no
I like
telling
the
what
not
happens
dying
when the
bit.
blue fluid runs out.
I mean, you have
Exactly.
you have turned off part of the dungeon here.
Yeah.
So
Let's explore while we can, and then
So
we can turn
there's-
it back on.
Remember
so
now,
yeah, I mean,
shortness is power. Shortness
but
is
then
power.
we have a possibility of carrying the power of the dungeon out with us.
That will happen soon.
Yeah, we'll do that on the way out.
Of
But
course,
there's
remember
another
that when we
door
lower
haven't
that liquid, if that thing, the gym trap out there, activates and stay on, that's going to be a hot ass run.
Hey Matt, were there any emblems on the sarcophagi, like Timanoan emblems?
yes.
Okay, it's interesting.
Are they legible, or are they similarly pixelated to the point where?
They are pixelated to the point that you can't tell
What they
What
would
they-
have been.
where. Yeah.
It's interesting. Because it seems like the blue electricity of those guys was similar to this, but I don't think they would have signed up to pixelate themselves. Maybe they interacted with like a hypercube or something. And
Yeah. No, they definitely. This is definitely not standard burial practice for the Taminoan Empire.
well, I can see like, ooh, I'm an undead. Collect me to some huge power source and keep me alive. But then power source pixelating me is
Right. That might have been the original plan or something
Right.
like that. But yeah.
I'm thinking the hypercube wandered in here and
all of those mwahaha plans go astray somehow.
that somehow, I think it intersected with the hypercube, and that's where the plan went sideways.
All right, so you've got your tarpaulins. Are you going to take those out of the dungeon, or are you going to go to the panic room and sift through what you've got? What are you going to do?
I think we need to go out.
I think so too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna argue with that. I pretty well still free toe.
Okay.
We definitely know where to go.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So you guys go. You go out of the dungeon into the city. You're able to sift through the stuff. You're also able to check and make sure that nothing's magical, which it's not. The gem fragments and things like that you collect once you've sifted out the stuff that's just rock, the stuff that's wood. It turns out to be worth 2,500 gold pieces worth of gems.
Nice.
Do we think that maybe some of the more worthless bits, do we think that maybe they might be of interest to someone like Dr. Omnibus? Having
Worth
been,
more.
having been, formed out of a undead creature somehow.
Okay, so you take it to Dr. Omnibus. Actually, this is one of the areas where he's not terribly interested in the stuff. He's like, oh, it's got something to do with interplanar something or other. There's geometry involved, and I've never been very good at geometry.
There's math. Let's not.
Yeah, if it doesn't have like guts and fluid and weird stuff, it's not really up his alley. So this.
And
What
boy,
about
do we
this,
have fluid for him.
Yeah.
So-
What about that flask we got?
This is geometry, not biology.
Right. You didn't bring out. Oh, that he looks at it and he's like, oh, well, it's just it's gelatinous cube. It's going to go bad. It's dead.
It's pretty cool. Tastes pretty good.
It was electrified at one point.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
So
I
you-
know that kind of formed like little drops of painful gelatinous cube.
Painful pixie dust.
So he's really interested in that story. He listens, fascinated to the whole thing in there. And he says, wow, that really sounds like it's not. It's Teminoan. That's a Teminoan magic accelerator. What you're describing, which is really interesting because it sounds like it was doing almost Vicinian type stuff with the operating, as a machine like that. Shame there's no way to really, harness that.
But wait,
Oh, but wait.
Sure.
we'll be back.
So
That
aren't
actually
those two-
is 9 o'clock, Matt. I don't know if that's
Yeah, no, we'll wrap it up, but
okay.
Well, Artemisia would ask, aren't those two types of magic incompatible? How would that even work?
They're not really two different types of magic. It's that the Temino magic moves in cycles, or at least it changes from bit to bit. Maybe that the Earth is running down in power or something. But you had your ancient Teminoans, and at that period of time, Earth magic was very, very powerful. And certain symbols were very, very powerful, and so that's why they dug down into the ground to get to these nodes and power points of Earth magic, and that's why you've got these enormous excavated dungeons from the Teminoan era. But then that sort of magic lost power. It was no longer the strongest sort of magic that was out there. The magic that had to do with machinery and technomancy sort of came more powerful at that point. And so the Vicinians, who were the ones who sort of used that, suddenly they were like, holy shit, we've got this, it's working really, really well today. And they, sort of took over the world based on that. And so that's the Vicinian technomancy. They're just different approaches to magic. It's just that the magic moved in cycles. So you're seeing the interaction between magic that was powerful at a particular point in time. So then when the Vicinian stuff went bad, all of the neat little machinery and things that they put into those great big excavated dungeons suddenly quit dispensing sodas and started making swinging blades chop through things. So all of the useful stuff became traps. So
it could be this is like a Vicinian trying to use a Timinoan setup.
You absolutely could have things like that.
Big
so
word.
that, like, right, so all the Timinoan sigils on this make it look like it was some sort of big earth magic place, and then the Vicinians came along and were like, hey, or we could turn it into a big magic engine.
Right, exactly.
Leaving the poor undead Timinoan dudes to be pixelated.
that you might very well have put your finger on what happened.
That's it, y'all. We got to find a way to turn it on.
No.
All right. Well, we're running past bedtimes that the players have got, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I told you how much the haul was worth, so you can translate that into experience points because you got out of the dungeon. So you can go ahead and add those in for next session.
Cool.
I go ahead and tithe my share. All of it.
You might want to double it just in case.
And go and pray into the chat room.
Is it pray so much as berate? Like, you're leaving me hanging here.
I'm going to
Really making me question my faith.
I'm going to go to my temple and whine for 4 hours.
And
Listen,
Muriel-
my religion here.
I remonstrate.
Muriel's going, you're spending too much time with Metalis.
There you go.
It's totally true. And Metalis is like, sherbet's not metal. Can't win for losing.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and take us off the broadcast.
All right.
Keep it.
Bye-bye.